You found us. If you're watching this, you might be looking for training certifications, workshops, webinars, or conferences that is affordable, accessible, reliable, and commendable. Stellar Training Consultancy Services can help you with your certification needs. From leadership and administrative trainings to general topics, we got it all here. With partners being served such as Department of Health, Philippine Coast Guard, Department of Labor and Employment, Department of Trade Industry, and many more organizations and agencies. There's no more reliable provider than STCS. So hurry, send us a message, and find excellence with STCS. Stellar Training Consultancy Services offers quality and innovative virtual training in Asia. Our online training was created out of a strong passion, a shared vision, and a ceaseless commitment to making learning easily accessible from anywhere in Asia. Founded in 2020, our unique approach to learning is designed to provide professionals with the opportunity to get an education on their own time. At the heart of everything that we do is our commitment to accessible career development program and our stakeholder success. We invite you to explore our diverse offering designed for learners from all backgrounds and levels.
Ama namin, pakinggan mo po ang pagtawag namin sa iyong banal na pangalan. Basbasan mo po ang aming pagtitipon at kami kaluguran mo sa araw na ito. Pagyamanin mo po, Panginoon, at maging nakaayon sa iyong kalooban ang aming pagkikita-kita mula sa simula hanggang katapusan. Masalamin nawa namin ang layunin mong dakila sa aming buhay at may sagawa namin ngayon ang aming mga gawain na may kabutihan at pag-ibig sa aming kapwa. Kami po'y naninikluhod sa iyong harapan na kami iyong patnubayan at iwaksi sa aming kaisipan ang anumang masasamang kaisipan, inggit at pakikipag-alit sa aming mga kasama. Bigyan mo kami ng sapat na lakas at katalinuhan upang maibahagi naman namin ang aming makakaya sa aming mga kasama sa pagtitipon na ito. Panalangin namin ang lahat ng ito sa pangalan ng iyong bugtong na anak na si Jesus. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiliw, telas ng sinakanan, alam ng puso, sa dikit mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, kuya ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisingil, sa nagatak tutok sa simoy at sa langit mong bangaw, ay hinatang tulad, awit sa pagkayang minamahal, ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nagtitingin, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magtitingin, lumalang araw ng walhagit pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang inigaya ng pagkay mga amin, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
All right. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Can you hear and see me clearly?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Sir Denise. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming in early. This is our HR 103. On this, we will be talking about hiring and selection processes during the pandemic or during crisis like this one. So I really appreciate you that you have attended this kind of sessions because it will provide you a lot of information about current situation when it comes to hiring and selection processes. No, especially right now na binago ng pandemya yung ano natin, the way how we are looking or the way how we are hiring people and the way we are looking for them, no? So right now, I know that you are all, you attended this session. It's because probably you are an HR officer or you are applying for the position relating to HR, and hopefully we'll be able to live up with our intended learning outcomes for this afternoon. By the way, my name is Junmar Hidalgo and I will be your resource speaker for this afternoon. And hopefully, no, for our participants, I'll be able to hear also your ideas as well, because I know that I am not the I do not have all of the experiences when it comes to hiring and selection. There might be some experiences that you have, wonderful experiences that you have, that you can also share with our dear participants. So ini-encourage ko yung ating mga participants, iba nating mga participants, na kapag meron kayong experiences with regards to our topic, please do share naman din with our here in our session, para may ano din tayo, may magandang sharing tayo at matutunan sa isa't isa. All right. So right now, let me just go ahead and share to you my screen. Please let me know if you can see my screen right now. Yan, nakikita nyo na po ba yung screen? Ayan. So this is HR 103, Strategic Hiring and Selection Processes During Crisis. Again, my name is Junmar Hidalgo. Thank you so much, Sir Chase, for confirming that. All right, so our training rules for this afternoon, or every session that we have: turn on your camera for the first 20 minutes of the training for attendance purposes, so that our training team will be able to check if you are there and be able to check your attendance. Wear proper clothing, since the session will be recorded for the quality and management purposes. Be attentive and be interactive during the discussion, and respect everyone. Of course, we differ from every culture, we differ from every aspects or walk of life. So may iba sa atin na baka offensive para sa atin yung mga shinare nila na experiences, or hindi kaaya-aya, pero let's just like respect it, no? Kasi hindi naman natin sila mako-coerce or mafo-force not to experience such thing, because we are humans and we have different walks of life. All right. So here are our intended learning outcomes for this afternoon. Intended learning outcome first: participants will be able to learn and avoid the common mistakes both an interviewer and applicant commit during job interviews. Participants will be able to get acquainted with the three major foundations and key points before doing the hiring and selection processes. Participants will be able to get fully informed about the important hiring and selection processes during crisis. Ayan, so here are our intended learning outcomes. And by the way, let me just let you know that the training resources, or itong gagamitin natin na PowerPoint, even the recording, will also be sent to you together with your certificate right after the session. So you don't have to worry to write down anything, no? Kasi magkakakopya din naman kayo nito. All right. So I have a question here for everybody. Yan. Yan. I know that all of you are all professionals, no? So the question for all of us is, what is the hardest part in a job interview? Ayan. What is the hardest part in the job interview? Ayan. It's okay, Sir Chase. No problem with that. Okay, I really appreciate informing us. All right. So you can turn on your microphone if you wanted it to be more interactive, no, in answering our question. Ayan. What is the hardest part in the job interview? Ayan. Para sa inyo, ano po yung pinakamahirap? Yan. We have answer coming from Ma'am Jasmine. Sabi ni Ma'am Jasmine, facial expression of interviewer, kung tanggap or hindi. Ayan. Minsan nga, no, nag-assume tayo kapag feeling parang poker face lang yung interviewer, nagkakaroon tayo ng assumption, was I able to impress the interviewer? Naku, baka naman hindi niya nagustuhan yung sinabi ko. Ganon. But yeah, that is definitely one of, the hardest part, because you don't have a hold of what the interviewer might think about your answers, or what the interviewer might think about what you have said. Ayan. Thank you so much for that one, Ma'am Jasmine. How about another? Let's have another one. Hardest part. Ayan. Of course, you can also type in your answers, no, para mabasa ko, para may share naman natin sa ating mga participants. Sabi ni Sir Marvin, everything. Ayan. Napakaano naman, dami naman, no? Lahat nahihirapan tayo sa job interview. But definitely, no, when we are applying for a job, no, or during the job interview, it's as an applicant, no, nahihirapan talaga tayo because we are trying to impress the interviewer. We are trying to get a job, no, we are trying to get hired, and with just one mistake or with just one thing that the interviewer doesn't want about you, magkakamali ka, then definitely you lose a hold of that kind of job. So mahirap, and it breaks our heart, no, kapag hindi tayo natatanggap. Ayan. As an applicant, sabi ni Ma'am Jasmine, asking question at the last part. Ayan. Ayan. Definitely, that's true, Ma'am Jasmine. And we're going to talk about that one, no, here on our session. It's really important, the last part, kapag tinatanong tayo ng interviewer, no? As an applicant, tinatanong tayo, do you have any question? Siyempre, sasabihin or minsan nasasabi na lang natin na wala, but there are a lot of questions on our mind that we wanted to ask, no? But we are just hesitant. Baka kasi ma-offend natin yung interviewer or baka mag-cause pa ito na hindi tayo matanggap. But, you know, as a matter of fact about that, no? As an HR, no? Or as an applicant, you should really take that opportunity to ask questions to the company's personnel or to the interviewer. So don't lose a chance of asking. Sabi naman ni Ma'am Lawrence Joy, minsan sa language barrier din po. Ayan, exactly. Whatever, regardless of whatever the situation is, language barrier is one of the heaviest and the hardest part of every situation. Sabi naman ni Sir Chase, probably when discussing expected salary, definitely. Ayan. So there are a lot of employers who does not want to disclose the salary at the very beginning of the interview. Ayan. Which is somehow understandable, no, because we wanted to gauge as an HR, we wanted to gauge the interest of the employee if they are really, of course, primarily the applicants are really after the what they're going to get from the job, no, the salary. But above above all that, as an HR, we are expecting also that that applicant that we are having, no, or we are talking with is also interested not just because of the salary but because he or she wanted to grow in the company together with the organization. Ayan. Sa huli din yung mga applicant na gusto din nilang tanungin yung salary nila, no? Kasi baka they're just wasting their time, you know, talking with the interviewer, processing all of these requirements, but then again, hindi pala pasok sa kanilang expectation yung salary. Sabi naman ni sabi naman ni Sir Dennis, when you are asked of your weaknesses, ayan. Ito yung gusto kong i-pinpoint, no? When an applicant was asked whatever his strengths or weaknesses are, minsan kahit na tayo nahihirapan tayo to determine what our strengths and weaknesses are. Kasi what's boggling us is that there's an assumption in our back of our minds na baka kapag sinabi natin yung strengths natin, baka sabihin na malaki yung ulo natin, ganun. Mahangin tayo. Pag sinabi naman natin yung weaknesses natin, nako baka hindi tayo matanggap kasi nagiging honest tayo, sobrang honest tayo. But the truth to that matter is that the interviewer or the HR does not really care about your weaknesses or your strengths. What they wanted to know is your self-awareness, no? Yun yung tinitignan ng mga HR dapat, no? Na hindi nila although they were asking about strengths and weaknesses, but they are not really using those weaknesses and strengths as a criterion for the applicant's, you know, application. What they should actually look for is the self-awareness of that applicant. Alam ng applicant na ganito yung weaknesses niya, so maganda kasi alam niya. Now, what I'm going to ask right now is how will he or she overcome these weaknesses? Ayan, how will he or she convert these opportunities, these threats into opportunities. So ganun dapat yung ginagawa na ating HR. Alright? Yan, parami ng ating mga sagot dito. Sabi naman ni Mamika, kapag tinatanong po kung bakit ka umalis sa dati mong work, ayan, ayan. So minsan, no, ang katunayan, umalis tayo kasi maliit yung sweldo or hindi natin nakukuha yung benefits na gusto natin. And it's like something that we should not really disclose to the interviewer, no? Kasi magkakaroon ng assumption yung interviewer na ay hindi ka pala nagiging satisfied at one point of your job. So might be if you were going to hire you, there's going to be probably a time that hindi ka na namin masasatisfy. Ako rin, Ma'am Mika, yan din yung ano ko eh. Yan dun yung hardest na part in a job interview for me ha. Yung tinatanong bakit ka umalis sa previous work mo. Sabi naman ni Ma'am Karen, why should we hire you? Yan yung question. Ayan, reality speaking, you have to impress the interviewer with what you can offer and you will stand out among other applicants. Exactly. When we are applying for a job, it's like we are selling a certain product, no? Kaya nga in a marketing concept, you are not going to sell your product, no, to the customer. You should not sell your product to the customer. Instead, you should sell the solution you can provide to the customer para mas maintindihan nila kung bakit dapat sila bumili sa product mo. The same goes with when we are applying for a job, no? You should show or you should emphasize the solution or streamline the solution that you can provide to the company rather than just selling yourself to the interviewer na ganyan, but tell them how you can help the company. All right, thank you so much for all of your answers and I really appreciate that. Yan, medyo na-energize na yung mga natin, participants na they are really sharing their thoughts and ideas and I really appreciate that. We have one here, another. Ayan. But I know, I think we don't have to answer this kasi meron ng mga discussion na mga answers kanina na similar sa question na to. All right. So let's go to our discussion proper. All right. So on discussion proper, the first topic that we will be discussing is the top 5 job interview mistakes of both interviewer and the applicant. Since we're talking about hiring and selection process, no, we will be putting ourselves into the two people involving the hiring and selection process, the applicant and the interviewer. So we'll be checking the top 5 interview mistake. Okay. So it's essential to use this opportunity to showcase your best qualities and ensure that you're memorable for all right reasons. Yan, kagaya ng sabi ni Ma'am ni Ma'am Karen kanina, ni Ma'am Karen Joy, that when you are applying for a job, showcase your best quality to ensure that magiging memorable ka for all the right reasons. Nerves do play their part in the interview process and everyone has areas that they could improve upon. I don't know if you have experienced this one, but during interview, kapag may question na sobrang interesting at kaya mong sagutin, minsan sobrang haba na ng sagot natin, no? Na hindi na natin mapigilan yung sarili natin. And that's because of our nerves, no? Responding to the stimulus that we have received, no? So dapat kapag ganyan, I know that the question is very interesting and I know that you can answer the question greatly, but you should also limit what words or what information you should only provide pertinent to that question. Kasi kapag nasusobra, no, nagiging boring na ang interview. You should keep a hold of your mouth or control your mouth kung ano yung mga sasabihin mo. However, more often than not, it's not the most preventable error that cost you your job. So the first mistake, not being unprepared, of course. Preparation for an interview is crucial to arriving in a confident mood and feeling ready to tackle the interviewer's question. So for the applicant's point of view, syempre, if you are applying for a job, it is a necessity that you are ready to face the interviewer, no? Kahit na wala naman sigurong aplikante na hindi nagre-ready when applying for a job, no? So, what you need to do is to read up the company's background, its place in the market, and its competitors, and familiarize yourself with its key members. Make sure that you fully understand the role and offer. Failing to do so will make you lazy and uninterested. Ayan. So, try to check about the company background. Now that will help you come up with an information that you can probably provide to the interviewer. Yan. So that's for the applicant's point of view. However, no, tignan naman natin yung interviewer's part, no, in this kind of mistake. So for the interviewer, being unprepared is very crucial. No, being unprepared is very bad. So if you are an interviewer, you should know what kind of person or what kind of employee you are looking for, so that when you are trying to select pool of applicants, no, you'll be able to really pinpoint the right one for that kind of position you're opening. Okay, so number two, top two job interview mistake is dressing inappropriately. Okay, being well presented is a must, so choose your outfit carefully. Clothes should be clean and freshly ironed. Turning up in the ripped jeans and a pair of trainers hardly gives a professional impression. Okay, that's very cliche, no? And it's very understandable naman din. Dressing inappropriately is not that type that we are expecting during job interviews. Definitely, if you are dressing inappropriately, you are not giving the right impression to the interviewer. Knowing the type of the company you applied to should give you a clue as to the dress code. For example, in legal or business firms, dress is usually more formal. When in a creative companies or IT, the dress code is more relaxed. Yan. So doon naman tayo sa interviewer's part. As an interviewer, you should also dress appropriately. No? You should dress accordingly. You should dress according to the values of your company. Kasi the HR or the interviewer is the one providing, or is parang siya yung nagiging imahe ng company towards the applicant. So whatever the impression of the applicants towards your interviewer is the same impression that those applicants will have over the company. So kapag sinabi nila ay parang gusgusin yung interviewer, siguro yung company is gusgusin din. So that's going to be the domino effect of having an interviewer who is not dressing appropriately. So if you are dressing inappropriately, you're also telling it's like also telling the applicant that, hey, this is our culture, this is how we dress, no, this is how we look like in the office. So it's not the impression also that we are expecting for the applicant to have. 3, talking too much or not enough. Learning to strike a balance between talking too much and talking too little can be a challenge. Taking part in practice interviews with your university career services can really help to ensure that you give the right amount of information. Waffling is a common interview mistake and tends to be the result of nerves, but avoid talking about everything all at once. Ayan, yan yung sinabi ko kanina, no? Because our nerves are playing whenever there's an interesting question, sometimes we talk too much. And talking too much will lead to bad impression to the interviewer. Ayan. And also talking too little. When you are asked of something, no, and you just said, yes, sir, I experienced that. Then it's not something that, you know, it's very interesting to hear. If ako yung magiging interviewer, hindi ako magiging interesado pakinggan yung sasabihin mo lang sa akin na, yes, sir, I experienced that. Maybe you can share a little bit about that experience that you have. No? So pwede mo sabihin, yes, sir, I experienced that. In fact, I went to something like that. So you extend a little bit, but not too much. Okay? So you should know how to strike balance between talking too much or talking too little. Ayan. Now let's go to the interviewers part naman in this kind of mistake. Now, there are a lot of interviewers who would really love to empathize with their applicants. But sometimes, no, nagiging too much yung empathy nila sa applicants. No? Minsan, kapag may sinabi yung applicant, sasabihin din niya, oh yes, I experienced that one also. Maybe ganito, ganyan, ganyan. So, siya na yung nag-share or the interviewer is parang nag-share ng mas maraming information kumpara doon sa applicant. Now, as an interviewer, your goal is to really collect the data you needed to measure if that applicant is, qualified for the job or for the position. Now, if you're talking too much as an interviewer, you will not be able to come up with that goal of yours as an interviewer. So, always, no? Ilagay natin sa ating isipan as an interviewer that always have a balance between talking too much or talking too little. Yan. So fourth, criticizing previous employers or colleagues. Ayan. So may sumagot kanina na I'm talking about why you left your previous job. Ayan. So we can somehow connect it to this one. If you are applying for a job as an applicant, there will be a tendency that you will be asked why you left your previous company. Ayan. So if you are really, surprisingly asked about that question, as much as possible, do not complain about your colleagues, no? Do not draw attention to negative aspects of your previous or current job or moan about your superiors na sasabihin mo or ipapamukha mo na you are dissatisfied, no? With the previous job that you have. The very reason is that you are creating impression that you can also do these things to the company you are applying for. So dapat, no, when you are asked of that question, now why did you left your job or previous job? So try to formulate or come up with a better excuse or a better reason kung bakit ka umalis. No, you can say that I am looking for a career development, and I believe that something like that. So you can say that. No, instead of saying na I left the job because I don't like my supervisor. He is so bad. Like that. So, wag nating sabihin ganyan, no? Kasi hindi ka matatanggap diyan, no? And also, for the interviewer's part, kapag ikaw naman yung interviewer, do not say something that will put your organization into a spotlight, no? Say for example, your applicant shared something that you can relate. So sasabihin mo naman na, ay oo, meron dyan dito sa amin na isang supervisor na kumukupit sa natin sa budget for team building. Yan. So, as an interviewer, you are giving impression to the applicant that there is a nature, there are people in the organization like that na ganyan, and yet the organization was not able to do something about that. So as an interviewer, you should really avoid talking or complaining about your colleagues, talking against your company, no? Kasi it's not really good. Remember that when you are applying for a job, no, or when you are hiring and selecting applicants, it's not only the applicants who should create impression, good impression, because as a matter of fact, the interviewers should also provide good impression to the applicants. Ayan. Number 5, top 5 job interview mistake is failing to ask questions. Ayan, yung sabi natin kanina, non, may sumagot dito kanina. As the interview draws to a close, the recruiter will ask if you have any questions you'd like to ask them. It's never a good idea to say no. No? Probably at this very point of the interview, pwede nating tanungin na, ma'am, magkano po ba yung sweldo? Magkano po ba yung makukuha? Or ano yung mga additional benefits natin? Ayan. Ano yung mga um, um, healthcare natin, provider natin. Yan. So there are a lot of things you can ask. No, if you are really, if you wanted to really land a good job, which can really take care of you as as an employee, then at the very beginning or at this very crucial stage of the interview, you should ask the interviewer about that. Okay. This is your opportunity to get answers to your queries about the role and the company, so don't waste it. Asking a couple of relevant questions shows your interest in the role. You could ask about any current projects your potential team is working on, progression opportunities, or where the company sees itself in 5 years. Ayan. So you can ask the company, um, what are your goals as the company? No? We have a question here. Ano-ano pong mga best questions sa last part? Yeah, so ito yung example natin. You can ask the interviewer where the company sees itself in 5 years' time. No? Just to be more friendly and sound friendly and interesting, para maging magmukha ka namang interesting doon sa interviewer, you can ask the company or the interviewer, no? Sir, where do you see the company, how do you see your company after 5 years, no? Where the, ayan. So that's how you are going, that's one of the example of the question you can ask, no? Or you can probably ask, what are the current projects that your team are working right now? Ayan. Or what are, pwede mo tanongin na, what are what are the struggles that the organization experienced for the past 5 years? Ayan. So if the interviewer actually answered that question honestly, then you can made another impression na, oh, yes, sir. Definitely with that kind of struggle, I can help you because I do have an experience when it comes to like that. Huh? And it's not going to be hard for me to help you since you are experiencing this kind of trouble or struggle, then it is beneficial that I will become part of your team. So aside, 'di ba? Mas maganda siya kasi aside from asking question to the organization to get to know them even better, you're also creating impression to the company na maganda talaga na i-hire ka, or it will be very beneficial to hire you because you know and you understand the struggles of the company and greatly contribute to the company's struggles. Okay? Solution to the struggles. Ayan. So, yun yung dapat natin gawin. Ayan. So, that's the top 5 interview mistakes that we have, no, for both interviewer and the applicant. Ayan. So, before going to our next topic, if I may ask for our applicants, ayan, buhay pa po ba tayo? Ayan, are we all still alive? Ayan, pahingi naman ng thumbs up para makita ko. If you have questions, please type it in the chat box or turn on your microphone and catch my attention so that we can have a discussion and answer your questions clearly. Ayan. Thank you so much, Ma'am Alma. Okay. Okay, Ma'am Jasmine, thank you so much also. Now, let's go to the 3 major things to consider during hiring process. Ayan, we are already starting, no? Here are the 3 major things to consider during the hiring process. The first one that you needed to consider is to have detailed employee recruitment procedure. Yan. If I may ask, sino po ba dito yung mga HR personnel or HR staff? Ayan. Pa-type na lang po ng 1 sa chat box natin. Press 1 if you are an HR staff. Press 2 if you if you are not. Ayan. Press 1. Yan, maraming nag-press 1. Press 3 if you want English. Press 4 for Spanish. Ayan. So, yan. Tama nga ako, no? So, you are all HR staff and I really appreciate that. So, si Sir Ansel, Ma'am Alma, Ma'am Mika, Sir Marvin. Ayan. Dalawa pala yung Marvin natin dito. Si Sir Marvin Andaya and Sir Marvin Tubin. Ayan. Si Ma'am Joy, dalawa din yung Joy natin. Karen Joy, Chase Angela, Ma'am Jasmine. Ayan. And Ma'am Kayla. All right. Thank you so much. Now, here is the first thing that we needed to consider during the hiring process. Have a detailed employee recruitment procedure. Ayan. It's very sensible din naman, no? It's very stupid not to really have a recruitment procedure if in fact you're trying to recruit someone, no? So make it sure that you have a clear recruitment procedure so you know what are the steps that you need to take, no? Right after you have finished one step, okay? And having a recruitment procedure will also help you provide the next step to the applicant. Kasi may mga applicants tayo na mag-a-ask, ma'am, ano na po, ano po bang susunod na mangyayari after this interview? Ayan. So, it's very important that you provide the right information to the applicant. Kasi kapag sinabi natin na, after nito ma'am, mag-i-interview ka na with the supervisor na naman. But then again, nung bumalik si applicant, ang nangyari is pinag-exam siya doon sa computer. So it's very important that you provide the proper expectation to the applicant. So it's really helpful that you have a recruitment procedure at hand. It will also be very beneficial for you as an interviewer or as a recruiter kasi alam mo kung ano yung mga susunod na gagawin mo, no? Kagaya ng ginawa natin dito, no? Step 1, prepping your ideal candidate, no? When there is a job vacancy, you know, or you should as an HR professional, you should know kung anong type ng tao or anong type ng employee yung hinahanap natin for this kind of position. Am I looking for someone clerical? Am I looking for someone na analytical? Am I looking for someone na medyo holy? Ayan. So, dapat alam natin kung ano yung type of person we wanted the job to the position to fill, no? Step 2, sourcing and attracting talent. Ayan. So, since we're able to come up with a good recruitment procedure, alam natin kung paano natin hahanapin yung mga pool of applicants natin. Is it through internet, no? Are we going to send posters? Are we going to parang magdidikit ng mga papel sa poste? Ayan, uso yan before, di ba? Sa mga poste, may mga dinidikit na papel, then yung number, pupunitin mo lang. Ayan. Or mag-house to house ka. Ayan. So you should know how to attract your talent. Step 3, converting applicants. Ayan. Step 4, selecting and screening candidates. Okay. If you're able to narrow down the list of applicants that you have, okay, screening the candidates na, then the interview process, then you do the reference check, okay. Assessment period. This is just an example, okay. So assessment period and onboarding. Now, can someone tell me kung gaano ka-importante yung having this employee recruitment procedure? Ako okay. If you have an answer, just please type it in the chat box, no? How important is employee recruitment for you? What do you think is the reason? Okay, kasi ako before I actually started with this Stellar Training Consultancy Services, I applied to various jobs, and sometimes, no, the jobs that I applied is very laborious or napaka-tiring, For the very reason that napakaraming steps na i-undergo ng isang aplikante just to get to the point of being told you're not hired, no? Ang saklap nun, 'di ba? It's really heartbreaking that you've undergone or you've went into a lot of processes, no? Even took an examination, assessment period, and then again, right after those steps, sasabihin lang sa'yo na, sorry, we found another applicant who is best fit for this position. So napakasaklap, 'di ba, ng ganyan. So with the proper recruitment procedure, you'll be able to provide proper expectation to the applicant, no? And because of this, no, because we were able to have an employee recruitment procedure, natutulungan nating mabigyang sagot yung mga katanungan ng mga applicant kung ano nang susunod nilang gagawin. Kasi there are applicants na, or there might be some applicants na sasabihin nila na ang pangit ng company na to, huwag kayong mag-apply kasi ang bagal ng process nila, ang daming pinapagawa, tapos hindi ka pala qualified at the very last, no? Or may ni-require na silang mga ganito tapos hindi ka pa pala hired. Ganyan. So, always make sure to have an employee recruitment. Sabi ni Ma'am Jasmine, na-experience ko po yan. Sa hirap po mag-apply for government post. Ibang-iba po sa private firms. Exactly. No? So, napakahirap during the application and it will provide bad impression to our applicants. Ayan. So, ano po yung ano, ma'am? For Ma'am Jasmine, if it's fine for you to turn on your microphone, no? What was the hardest part na dun sa recruitment procedure? Gaano po ba kahaba? Pass na daw po sa exam. Kasi yung right now, no, because of pandemic, the hiring process of every firms has actually been shaped greatly, no, differently. There are a lot of organizations who are doing this, what we call hiring and selection or recruitment online na lang, di ba? And because it was done online, there are a lot of steps na ginagawa, no? Even a lot of assessment na ini-incorporate during the recruitment, no? Minsan nga, 'di ba? Meron pa tayo mga personality test na ina-undergo, meron tayong mga battery test, typing test, grammar test, and a lot of tests, a lot of tests na na kailangan nating i-take, no? And yun, napaka-tiring lang ng mga ganong test. Sabi naman ni Ma'am Mika, yes sir, yun po yung pinakamahirap. Pero sa amin po sa private, kapag hindi sila natanggap sa position, sinasabi po naman na sila pa rin ang priority if may available po ulit sa position. Nilalagay sila sa active pool. Ayan. Yan yung mga ginagawa ng mga private companies talaga, especially for creative companies like BPO companies or IT companies, no? Yung ginagawa nila, they will store your information on their applicants pool, no? Para whenever there's a vacancy, you'll be the one who's going to be pulled out, no? Sabi ni Ma'am Jasmine, wala na po balita ulit. Nung nag-follow up ako sa email, expired na po yung validity nung pagkapasko po. Uulit daw po ulit pag-apply. Ang hirap nun, ha? So, hindi ka nila in-update about that. Napakasaklap naman. So, papaulitin ka pa. But that's totally fine, no? But yun nga, yung point, no? Dapat meron tayong, we should consider this one to have recruitment procedure. Ayan, para klaro. Ayan. Next that we have here, consider using HR tools. Ayan, for the recruitment, or for the HR professional, the ultimate HR toolkit that we can have, especially during pandemic, especially during crisis, are these applications or software. No, we have Paychecks, payroll services, Bambi, that's HR platform, Oasis, okay, PO services or payroll check services, and Gusto, ayan, HR software. So this is very beneficial also for the HR. Yeah. And the very important thing during the hiring or recruitment, no, is to follow legal provisions governing hiring. Ayan. Pag-uusapan natin itong mga legal provisions. Some of the legal provisions that an interviewer should actually observe when they are hiring someone or when they are doing recruitment. No? So when starting the recruiting, it is important to be aware of certain legal issues in order to minimize risk. No? Kung gusto nating protektahan yung ating sarili at ang ating organization from litigations, we should try to take a look at some legal provisions when hiring someone. No? Employment law is in place to guarantee a fair and safe working environment for employers and employees as well. Statutes and strict rules outline for the employer how their employees should be treated within the workplace. Ayan. So for example, itong Republic Act 10173, an act protecting individual personal information or information and communication systems in the government and the private sector. So this is commonly known as privacy policy. Ayan, privacy policy. Now, why do we have to consider taking a look into privacy policy? The very reason is that you're collecting, di ba? You're collecting data from the applicants and they're entrusting you this vital information about themselves. Even, di ba, makikita natin doon their educational background, their address, their personal numbers, their personal email. So it's very sensible that you should, provide, provide this kind of disclaimer to them that their information is being protected and will not be sold to a third-party marketing staff or marketing agencies. Ayan. Because ito yung this because of pandemic, no, most of the recruitment is being done online. And mind me telling you this one. Napakaraming mga, I'm not discriminating ha, pero most of the hackers and most of the scammers that I have encountered are coming from India, no? Are coming from India. So there are companies who are doing recruitment, but their intention was not really to hire someone. Their intention was really just to collect data from these qualified applicants, and then they are going to sell it to a third-party marketing agency. Ayan, I'm actually a victim of that one also. Ayan. So parang mangyayari is they're going to sell your profile, no, to a third marketing agency because I don't know paano nila napagkukuhanan yan ng kita, no, but that's how they are doing that, no. Once you were able to fill out all of their forms, ganyan, so they're sasabihin nila na ganito, ganyan yung processes, but then again, at that very end, hindi ka pala nila i-hire, no? And they already have collected your data, your personal information. Okay? So mag-ingat-ingat po tayo. Make it sure before we are applying or we are filling out some forms, meron mga Republic Act 10173 or Data Privacy Act or Privacy Disclaimer. Yeah, next that we have here is Republic Act 10911. Ayan, 10911 is an act prohibiting discrimination against any individual employment on account of age and providing penalties thereof. Ayan, we truly understand as an interviewer, no, we truly understand that we could not discriminate someone based on their age, no, as long as they are actually able to do the job, no, they're totally welcome to do the job. But there are also some requirements, no, in a position na kailangan talaga, no, mga i-consider din natin yung age, like for older people, they don't have that strength, no, to carry some heavy things, no? If, for example, your industry, you belong to an industry, logistic industry, no? So most likely heavy equipments, ayan. And if you're going to hire old people, no, they don't have the strengths or the energy to really carry some equipments or maneuver some equipment. So ipaintindi na lang natin sa kanila, or if they are still really willing, no, as long as they can do the job, then that's totally fine. Republic Act 6725, an act strengthening the prohibition on discrimination against women with respect to terms and conditions of employment. Ayan. It's very important that we disclose to our applicants their benefits as a women, no? Especially sa mga babae, um meron silang separate law, separate benefits that they can get, no? But do not discriminate as well, because men should also be informed about their benefits, statutory benefits that is involved or included in the legal provisions of our Philippine Constitution. Ayan, so napaka-importante that we disclose all of the benefits that they can get from our company based on the Philippine Constitution. Now, Republic Act 6715, an act to extend protect to labor, strengthen the constitutional rights of workers to self-organization, collective bargaining, and peaceful concerted activities. So ano po ito? Do you have any idea? Does anyone have any idea about Republic Act 6715? Ano yung ibig sabihin nito? Ayan, 6715. Yan, meron po ba tayong idea? Ayan. So actually, no, 6715. Ayan, perfect. Yan. Galing ni Ma'am Jasmine. So the right to create union. Ayan. Union, especially right now, May 1. Nako, napaka ano natin, Kilusang Mayuuno. They are the #1 labor union, no, in the Philippines. Ayan. Familiar ba kayo dyan? By the way, no, Happy Labor's Day pala sa lahat ng ating mga manggagawa, sa inyo mga professionals. May 1, it's Labor Day, at napapanahon itong ating topic ngayong hapon. Ayan. So Republic Act 6715 is an act, no, extending protection to labor, or an act letting us informing us that we don't have the right to stop our employees from joining or creating labor unions or creating unions. Okay? Pero may mga kaakibat ito na condition, no? Although we cannot really force them to not to join union, but they are only allowed to join union who are not about to wreak havoc or yung manggugulo na union, no? So that's the condition there, no? Peaceful, yan, peaceful concerted activities. Ayan. So ladies and gentlemen, yan po yung ating mga sample legal provisions in recruitment, no? So please remember that when we are hiring someone, there are legal provisions that we needed to take a look at. Ito yung 4 na example na primary, so that kapag nag-hire tayo, nagre-recruit tayo ng mga tao, we're able to protect ourselves naman as an interviewer or as a recruiter. Okay? Baka maya-maya maging ano tayo, padalhan na lang tayo ng sulat ng DOJ or ng NBI. May na-violate ka daw. Yan, wag naman sana. All right, so now let's have an activity time. Let's have an activity time. This is jumbled words. Okay, the instruction is that in jumbled words, all that you needed to do is to arrange the words I shuffled. You may type your answers using the chat box. First one to guess the word will be given a good fortune. Ayan. By the way po, bago tayo magsimula sa ating activity, do you have any question with our previous topics? Ayan. All goods daw, sabi ni Ma'am Alma. Ayan. Thank you so much. So now let's go to our jumbled words. Ayan. First word. Ano yan? Ayan. Galing ah. Bilis si Sir Marvin ang daya. Sabi ni Sir Marvin, it's interview. Ayan. Most of you sabi interview. Ayan. The correct word is interview. Yan, pumapalakpak na yung mga kaibigan nating diwende. Thank you so much. Very good. It's interview. Next word. Ayan. Ano yan? Feeling ko alige. Alige yan, alige. Yan. Ano kaya yan? Mahirap. Nahihirapan sila. Ano kaya yan? Congratulate. Wala namang C. Ayan, sirit na. Ayan, let's reveal the word. Ayan. Regulation. It's regulation. Ayan. Of course, we wanted as much as possible to take a look at the regulations or the legal provisions governing hiring and recruitment. All right. Next that we have here is yan, si Sir Marvin na naman. Sir Marvin Andaya. Ayan. Si Sir Marvin Andaya, pero hindi Nandaya, number 1 sa balota. Ayan. Si Sir Marvin got the answer correctly. Ayan. All of you got the answer correctly, but si Sir Marvin yung pinaka-mabilis. Ayan. Sir Marvin Andaya. Next, yan. I think this is the last one. Yan. Ano yan? What word is this? Enmopurses. Parang ano, parang nagka-cast ng spell. Enmopurses. Ayan. Yan, sabi ni Ma'am Lawrence, impression. Ma'am Angel, impression. Let's reveal. Ayan. Exactly. Ayan. Ma'am Lawrence got the answer first correctly. All right. Thank you so much for your participation. Thank you so much. Napakabilis ni Sir Marvin Andaya and si Ma'am Lawrence got the answer also on the last part. Thank you so much. Now, we will be going to the 5 best hiring practices during pandemic. Ayan. Okay pa po ba tayong lahat? Ayan. Okay pa po ba? All right. So now we will be going to the 5 best hiring practices during pandemic. But before that, let's take at least 5 minutes break lang muna. Okay, if that's fine with you. Let's take 5 minutes break and then let's be back. Okay, so time now is 4:03. Please be back at 4:08. Ayan. So let's have a 5 minutes break lang muna. Ayan. So we're all back. Are we all back? All right. Thank you so much for waiting. So we have finished. Ang bilis na 5 minutes break and we are back now to discuss our remaining topics. So our next topic for this afternoon is the 5 best hiring practices during pandemic. Ayan. Ito yung mga best practices natin during pandemic or during crisis. All right. So the first one that we have here is embrace remote recruiting. Ayan. Embrace remote recruiting. Okay, ano yung remote recruiting? Yung you let your employee work from their home, no? Or work from home na setup. The pandemic has forever impacted the way we all think about remote work now. What was once a semi-rare benefit is now almost an expectation. That is really true. That's why at the very beginning of this session, I informed everyone that the recruitment procedure or the recruitment um, processes was shaped greatly differently because of pandemic. No? Because of pandemic, a lot of organizations were actually forced to adopt to the changes that this pandemic has actually brought us. No? And because of that, there are a lot of companies who are doing recruitment online na lang, no? Who are really focusing on getting employees or getting pool of applicants online. No? So dati-rate, it's not a possibility to work from home, no? But right now, there are a lot of organizations embracing this factor na posible naman palang mag-work from home. Ayan, because we were able to try it na. And a lot of companies are actually considering na having a hybrid na permanently, hybrid kind of setup because as a matter of fact, when doing remote work or work from home, companies are actually able to save up a lot of money, no? Primarily on the expenses of their electricity na ginagamit sa offices nila. So, why not instead of paying, no? Instead of paying for the electricity of your office, why not use it to compensate even better your employees, no? Instead na magbayad ka sa kuryente, use this kind of utilities expense to become a benefit of your employees kasi kuryente din naman nila ginagamit nila, although it's not really the you're only using it 8 hours, no, for the company, but you should pay them naman as well. Okay, companies that want to compete for the best talent will need to provide at least a part-time remote option. 80% of employees said they'd reject a job offer if remote work wasn't a possibility. 80%. Actually, in fact, no, before pa man nagkaroon ng pandemic, no, Australia has been doing this. Most of their employees are actually working from home. That is the very reason why I experienced also work from home. My first work from home setup. When I applied for a job in Australia, no, as their brand strategies for the BioRains Australia, it's the largest pharmaceutical company in Australia, no, BioRains Australia, and I was able to become part of their team as the brand strategies. So as their brand strategies, I was just working from home, and I was my eyes were actually opened. Na uy, posible pala yung ganito, no, na work from home lang as long as you're able to deliberately report all of your accomplishments and milestone to your employees. I mean to your supervisors. Ayan. But there's a downside, no? There's a downside for work from home. Ayan. There's a downside for work from home. Actually, when the pandemic started, a lot of companies actually contacted us and asked for a consultation kung paano daw nila makokontrol or ma-maintain yung performance ng kanilang organization, no? because of work from home. Kasi because of pandemic, no, a lot of organization experience a decrease in the performance of their employees. Kasi it's undeniable din naman that when an employee is work from home, no, there is always still a lot of distractions. Especially, for example, yung aso natin, no, maingay, no, or yung may mga bata sa paligid na kinukuha yung attention mo. So you cannot really provide all of the 8 hours on your job. While it's understandable that there's no such kind of job na ginagawa ng 8 hours yung isang trabaho lang, but the performance of the employee is decreasing because of work from home, and that's what we actually fixed and helped with the company who consulted us. Ayan. So sabi ni Ma'am Alma, wow, 10 years. 10 years na daw si Ma'am Alma work from home. If I may ask, if you don't mind me asking, Ma'am Alma, what is the position? Are you doing freelancing?
Yes po, freelancing po. Sa HR and recruitment function.
Ano yung ano po ninyo, ma'am? Field of freelancing.
Sa digital marketing and e-commerce.
Ah, yeah. Excellent. No? So yan din yung actually ginawa ko nung sa BioRains Australia. No? Nung nagsimula akong mag-freelancing, digital marketing, I did that with BioRains Australia. Ayan. Medyo natakot na ako dun sa BioRains Australia kasi they're selling marijuana. Hindi naman yan.
Legal siya sa US yung
Yeah.
marijuana. Pero
Hindi
sa,
naman siya. So dito sa Pilipinas, hindi naman normal sa atin yung ganun, no? But sa kanila, almost most of their, pharmaceutical products are, yun may content ng cannabinoid or cannabis. So, yun. Naibago lang ako doon. Yan. Yan. Si Ma'am Jasmine sabi niya, working from home as an employee, then doing house chores. Ayan. Ayan. May ka-team ako na ganyan before, no? Akala namin natapos na yung trabaho, natapos na yun yung pinapagawa sa kanya. Yun pala, tinawagan namin, ayun. Kasi kailangan namin mag-video call. Ang ganda ng background niya kasi nasa dagat siya. Ayan. That's the benefit lang din ng work from home. Pero make it sure that when it's work time, magtrabaho talaga. Wag nating dayain yung ating company because you're being paid properly nung tinransfer ka to work from home, hindi naman binawasan yung sweldo mo, no? Bagkus mas ano pa nga, mas beneficial pa nga sa part mo as a worker kasi you don't have to commute, you don't have to inhale all of the smoke outside, no? Pagising mo, kahit na nakapajama ka lang, pwede ka nang umupo at magtrabaho, no? So be thankful that you are working from home. Ayan, and do your best to maintain or to keep that job kasi maraming naghahanap ng ganyang trabaho. Ayan. Si Sir Ansel, napapangiti. Work from home ka po ba, Sir Ansel? Yan.
Hindi po, sir.
Okay. Ayan.
On-site na po.
Okay.
Monday to Friday.
Ayan. So, yung ibang mga company bumalik na nga dun sa office nila. Yan. So now, the second strategy is to hindi pa pala. Ito pa pala. Embrace remote recruiting pa pala. Excited. Ayan. Number 1, okay, there are so many benefits of remote recruiting. Ayan. Access to an unlimited diverse candidate pool, speeding up the hiring process, and saving money. Now, there are a lot of reasons why the company are actually considering remote recruiting then. No? Kasi, if you are doing the usual or the classical way of recruiting, you will only be limited to, you are only limited to hiring the people within your vicinity. So say for example, dito sa ating picture, no? This is your company and this is the only, this is yung scope ng vicinity mo. So of course, if you're hiring someone, you will only be able to reach those people within your vicinity. What if walang nag-qualify? What if may nag-qualify pero nandun siya sa kabilang city or sa kabilang isla, no? So why not consider remote recruiting, no, or remote work from home? Kasi you will lose a chance of providing or really manning the position with the best fit candidate because of your limitation, no? Now, because of work from home, because of remote recruiting, you will be able to extend your hand and get the help from the best fit candidate. Ayan. So that's one of the benefit na in-emphasize natin with work from home. Yan. So instead of settling for what is mediocre or mediocrity, nakukuha natin yung best fit na candidate. Ayan. By opening up the job to any person working from anywhere, you can truly find the best fit for the job, not just the best fit who lives in a 20-mile radius. Okay? So always remember, strategy 1, embrace remote recruiting. Ayan. So sabi ni Ma'am Mika, gusto rin sana namin ng work from home kaso sa ospital kami. Ayan. So work from home, imposible talaga yan sa mga healthcare industry. Hindi naman pwede na kunwari no, may kailangan i-inject na IV doon sa pasyente. So ipapadala na lang through LBC. Self-service na lang po, ma'am. Ayan. No, kailangan talaga na physical appearance. And that's the sad part when working in healthcare. No, even kahit na anong trahedya, no, kahit na pandemic na, kailangan nilang mag-report sa on-site, no? Hindi naman pwedeng online. Although merong online consultation, but there are still laboratories that needs to be done, no? Which needs employees from the healthcare industry to maneuver the equipment. So kailangan talaga sila. And I salute all of those people na sinusuong talaga yung ganong mga bagay. Ayan, yes po, sabay-sabay sabay-sabay din kami na quarantine. Ayan. So, ayan. Yan yung kanta natin na together we, ano yun? Divided we fall. Ayan. Together we climb to the top of the world. Ganun daw yun kapag sa healthcare industry. All right. But it's totally fine, ma'am. I hope you're all safe, no? Ayan. So number 2, put effort into the candidate experience. No matter how good your compensation package or how stellar your company's track record, if a candidate doesn't get a good vibe during the interview process, it's all over. Ayan, which is true. Kapag may ibang mga aplikante na choosy talaga, no? Because of on the digital era, mas marami silang choices na mapag-applyan ng trabaho. And if they cannot see the right vibe they are looking for the company, no, then they will not really continue with the process of the recruitment. So it's very important as an interviewer, you should make an impression as well. Kagaya ng sabi ko kanina, no, earlier in our first topics, it's not only the applicant who should create an impression to our, to the applicant, but also the interviewer as well should create impression to the applicant. Not only it is important to help and land the hire you want, but word will get around if candidates aren't pleased with the hiring process, affecting all future hiring processes. Now, if may aplikante na hindi nagustuhan yung process ninyo sa trabaho or sa recruitment, then definitely it will come to a point na malalaman ng ibang mga tao, walang mag-a-apply na sa'yo, mga aplikante. No, it happened actually recently, no, na may nangyaring ganito. Ayan. So ito, I don't know if you're familiar with this. Nag-trending kasi ito, no? Mandawi City. It's a company in the Mandawi City na may nag-apply na aplikante, then they texted this to the applicant. Congratulations, you're hired. Ayan, pina-question mark pa, oh. Ayan, tignan nyo yung logo. Ayan. Question mark pa yung nilagay. You're hired. Yan. We are pleased to inform you that you passed the final interview. Pina-question pa rin, no? For sales admin staff. Then, ni-require nila yung applicant ng pre-employment requirements. Ayan. Send to the email address. Note that the processing ganyan-ganyan. Then again, nung nung na-require, na-comply na ng aplikante yung trabaho, I mean, yung requirement, ito yung natanggap niya. Ayan. We are sorry to inform you that we found a suitable applicant for the position of sales admin for Mandawi City. Ayan. We will be advertising more positions in the coming months. So, it's a bad image. It's a bad process. Siguro walang walang detailed recruitment procedure kagaya ng sabi ko kanina. Kailangan ng detailed recruitment procedure para alam natin kung ano yung next step natin. Hindi kagaya nito, no? Sinabi mo na hired yung aplikante and then sinabi mo din na mag-comply na requirements, but no nag-comply na requirement, ayan. Nag-sorry ka, hindi pala fit. Ayan. With that case, you will really face an LRC about this, no? Or DOLE. Yes, Ma'am Alma, nag-raise ng hand si Ma'am Alma.
Yes, sir. I think what happened here po is automation nila ng email at saka ng text. Kasi po, for us, gumagamit kami ng text at saka email. So probably yung nalipat siya sa kabilang tab or something, I forgot the word. Ito yung natanggap niya and then yung nag-review ulit sila ng, yung nireview yung application niya is failed pala siya. Tsaka niya na-receive yung automation ng failed email. So possible yun din po yung nangyari. Looking at the
Sa CRM nila, no?
Opo, possible po yun. Or kung intention, yun, savage.
Yun nga, ang pangit din kasi syempre, kapag nag-automation ka, it's a human who's going to set up the automation.
Yes po. Opo.
Then, ganito na message using this kind of punctuation, di ba? So you should not, it's very unprofessional din naman. The computer cannot do it alone, di ba? Na mag-type na ganito. It's being set up by someone or by a human. And then sabihin na natin na nagkamali nga, di ba? But the formatting or how the text
Yes, po, agree.
actually looks like it's not really very professional, di ba? So yan yung mga yan yung mga dapat natin consider. Put effort into the candidate experience. No, if they will really be dissatisfied during the interview, then yan yung mangyayari. But thank you so much for that information, Ma'am Alma, no? Ayan. So next that we have here, don't forget about retention. That's the third hiring strategy during pandemic. Now, we are also focused, no? We are also focused with hiring. But you should also remember that we will not be hiring someone if walang umalis sa ating company. Now, bakit ba may umalis? Because may dissatisfaction. Now, ano yung trabaho ng retention team natin? So that's where the retention comes in, no? Retention is very important in order for us to lessen the frequency of us hiring people, no? Because as a matter of fact, no, or it's undeniable, it's arguably remarkable that whenever we're hiring someone, we really are spending too much money from the company, di ba? From the marketing, from the hiring, from the advertising. Of course, we are going to spend a lot for the hiring. Now, if you're able to retain all of your employees as much as possible, no, or maiwasan yung resignation nila, then hindi natin i-experience itong hiring na to, 'di ba? So with so much focus on hiring right now, it can be easy to take your current employees for granted. Ayan. Ayan, let's read muna yung sabi ni Mamika. Sa amin right after na interview for the position, lalabas na agad yung result and after nun, diretso na siya sa psych exam. Kaya ang mahirap na part is right after din ng interview, sasabihan mo na yung ibang applicant na hindi sila pumasa. Ayan. So it's a good thing, Ma'am Mika, that you already have really a clear procedure of what the recruitment would look like in your company. Okay? Mas mahirap kasi kapag you've required a lot already from the applicant, no? Nag-collect ka na ng mga NBI, mga birth certificate, city health certification, and all of that, pero hindi pala sila pumasa. Then isipin nyo naman, 'di ba? Gumastos yung aplikante for those documents. Gumastos siya to really go into your office. Yan. And then again, hindi mo sinabi kaagad, no? Parang you're just prolonging the agony of the um, applicant, 'di ba? So napakahirap. Be considerate naman as an interviewer or as a recruiter or as an employer. Okay, thank you so much, Ma'am Mika, for sharing that. Now going back, okay, hiring and retention, no? This is resulting in a mass exodus, coined the great resignation of employees looking for greener pastures. However, it's so much easier to keep your current employees than to hire new ones, not to mention cheaper. Of course, it is true, no? Na mas cheap at mas easy for us to really retain our current employees than doing the hiring. Kasi for retention, we should focus this one kasi alam na natin what are the capabilities of our employees, no? Unless gusto mo din talaga na umalis yung employee mo. So of course, you might not want to do the retention anymore. But if the employee is really golden, no? If he is really or she is really a performing employee, then strengthen your retention, no? Retention policy. Kasi if you're hiring and hiring, it will be causing you a lot of expenses, and there's always a risk that a new hire won't be as stellar as they seem to be in their interview. May mga aplikante akong na-interview before. Ito ha, experience ha. Based on experience. May mga aplikante akong na-interview before who actually said that, yes, I can work on holidays, I can work on weekends, and ganyan, ganyan. But then again, nung nagtrabaho na, yan, nagka-holiday, reklamo na reklamo kasi pinapatrabaho daw holiday. Ayan. So there are people like that. There are applicants like that because they really wanted to land a job, no? To the point that they will lie of, being able to work on holidays, being able to work with on pressure, no? Sabihin nila na I can work with pressure, ma'am. Ganyan. Tapos nung nagka-pressure na nga, ayun, biglang nawala, absent ng absent. Ayan. So, imagine, no, if we keep on hiring and then we land on that particular applicant, no, and we hire that applicant, then again, mamaya, aanuhin na naman natin sila, fire na naman natin sila to hire for a better one. So, it's really costly. So, ayan, yun yung advice ko sa lahat, since you are all, or most of you are actually HR practitioner. Please strengthen your retention policy. Take care of your current employee, no? Kasi they are your treasure in the organization. Ayan. Alright, agree po ba tayong lahat doon? Okay, sabi ni Mamika, saka lang din naman sila nire-require ng ibang documents kung papasa na sila sa psych and medical exam. Ayan. Yan, meron din kasing ibang mga recruiter na baliktad yung proseso nila. Require muna ng documents for authenticity daw, then saka na nila ipapatake ng mga exam. Ayan. But going back to this, number 3, don't forget about retention. I hope you understand that retention is very crucial, very important. Ayan. Number 4, focus on soft skills. Okay. Education, experience, and attitude. Let me ask our participants, which of these 3 is your topmost priority? Or pakirank na lang po according to you as an HR professional, no, pakirank na lang po alin dito yung top 1, top 2, top 3 na consideration ninyo. Okay? First, probably education. Second, experience. Third, attitude. Paki-type na lang po sa chat box according to the ranking. Ayan. Ano yung pinaka ano ninyo down to the least priority? Yan. Sabi ni Ma'am Mika, attitude, education, experience. First sa kanya, attitude, education, then lastly is the experience. Iba naman ka Ma'am Kayla. Sabi ni Ma'am Kayla, experience is the first. Second ang attitude at third na yung education. Sabi naman ni Sir Dennis, yung topmost niya is attitude. Kay Sir Chase naman is the experience itself. Sabi naman ni Ma'am Alma, experience, attitude, and education. Si Sir Chase, experience, attitude, and education. Same with Ma'am Alma, ayan. Sir Ansel naman is attitude, education, and education. Parang dalawa yung education ni Sir. Ayan. Alin dyan yung ano natin, experience. Ayan. So it's really important, no, that as an HR professional, we understand which one is our priority. No? Try to revisit your company goals, company vision, company values, no? Yung mga espoused values natin. Ano yung mga values na gusto natin for the organization? Would we want someone who has a good attitude, a good education, but a good educational background, but somehow lacks on the experience? Or would we want someone who is really an expert of that particular position, who has a good education but somehow does not have a good attitude and cannot really have a good employee engagement? Or do you want someone who is very stellar in the education, who is a graduate of cum laude, no? Had an attitude but lacks experience? So it's very important that you understand what you really need as an interviewer or as a recruiter. Okay? And for us to determine kung ano yung kailangan natin na tao sa ating organization, again, i-revisit natin yung ating company values, company mission and vision, pati yung goals natin. Ayan. So technical skills and flashy resumes can be tempting. But while experience and hard skills can be gained, soft skills are something that employees just have. No? When we say soft skills, it's the interpersonal capabilities of the person. No? Interpersonal capability of the person. Intrinsic capability, yung nandun na talaga sa kanya, hindi na mababago. No? There are a lot of resumes that are very technical, very classy, very flashy, very tempting, no? Kasi ang ganda ng kanilang mga resume. Ayan. Graduate from a prestigious school, graduate with honor, had an experience. Ayan. But then again, yung soft skills niya is hindi naman tutugma doon sa position, or yung experience niya hindi naman ganun ka ganda. So you should balance it. But of course, no, experience and hard skills can be gained as well. I actually have found a post from the group, HR group that I belong. No? I found a post na may nag-apply ng trabaho, and then the HR interviewer asked the applicant, do you have any experience? Then the applicant honestly answered na, no sir, I don't have any experience. Then maganda yung naging response ng HR, no, ng interviewer. Sabi niya, it's fine. I hope you'll gain that experiences here. Ayan. So yung ano natin, yung HR, no, yung HR na yun, he welcomed that person na walang experience to the company, probably because may maganda siyang attitude, has a good education, but just, does not have any experience. Well, that's totally fine. He is trainable pa. He can be trained and he can gain experience in the organization. There are also a lot of interviewer or employer who vary the most their recruitment with the education. No? Dapat graduate ka sa ganito, dapat ganyan, ganyan. Especially for some technical positions, no? Or some also would value attitude, no? If wala ka niyan, ayan, mahirap. It's much harder to teach someone how to work effectively as a team than teach someone how to use your company's system. Yan. Sabi ni Mamika, same sa company namin, sir. Problem, any problem kung may experience o wala, walang problem kung may experience o wala, at sila pa po talaga yung tumatagal. Yes, that's definitely true. No, the problem in the society right now is most of the companies are actually asking the applicants to have an experience. Now, we are forgetting about the graduates, the fresh graduates that we have. There are a lot of graduates who has great, great attitude and education. Now, let's say they are really easy to easy to mold, no, as a person, but they really just don't have any experience at all. Yan yung mga struggle ng mga fresh graduates. They cannot really find or land a good job because, or the job that they wanted because nangangailangan nga na experiences. So kailangan pa nilang dumaan sa napakaraming trabaho para makaroon ng experience, para makuha din yung dream job nila. So maybe it's about time that we change that, no? Maybe we should try to reconsider people, no? Accepting people who are really, obviously wanted to learn, who have a good attitude and education. No? They can be trained and most of the time, sila pa nga yung tumatagal. Ayan, exactly. Thank you so much for that, Ma'am Mika. Ma'am Maika. Ayan. Number 5, strategy. Okay? Hiring strategy during crisis is tailor your approach. Not all hires are equal, and different generations of workers respond to different things. For example, Gen Z is big on tech, and many prefer to apply jobs on their smartphone. Young employees also prefer to communicate over text and instant messaging instead of email. Tailoring your process to suit their needs will expand your reach in the current pool. Now, if I may ask our participants, have you tried posting a job online? Ayan, have you tried posting a job online or job vacancy online? Ayan, for our HR professionals here, okay, I know maraming facets yung HR, no? Probably some of you are HR professional but assigned in the benefits or payroll. But for those na, ayan, si Ma'am Kayla through Facebook, ayan. Thank you so much, Ma'am Kayla. Si Ma'am Karen. Yes. Si Sir Chase. Yes. Ayan. Now, we are empowering a lot of companies. Now, we are empowering now companies to really do the hiring on the social media and even on the LinkedIn. Ayan. Thank you so much. Ayan. Exactly. But the problem about Facebook, no, is when we are hiring, kasi I have tried also that, no, posting job through Facebook. The problem about Facebook is that the resume na makukuha ng recipient or nag-post ng job is the ano tawag dyan, pre-generated na resume. Now, to my surprise, may mga nakita ako doon na sa resume nila, pre-generated kasi siya, di ba? It's understandable din. Nakalagay doon na experiences, works as manager sa puso mo. Ayan. Works as manager sa Krusty Krab. Ayan. So, if you are applying for a job as an applicant, make it sure that you don't have those information on your profile. Ayan. Kasi yung interviewer niyan or yung recruiter matatawa sa'yo. Or worse, hindi ka matatanggap sa trabaho yung na-applyan mo kasi nakalagay doon sa Krusty Krab ka nagtrabaho before. Ayan. May ano pa nga doon. May mga nakalagay pa doon. Works as point guard NBA sa NBA. So ayan. So si Ma'am Kayla, sabi niya, but we require them to send their resumes via our email po. Ayan. Perfect. Now, that's perfect, Ma'am Kayla. There are a lot of CRM right now or software or platforms that we can use to hire someone, no? Much better pa nga kesa sa Facebook, no? LinkedIn was one, JobStreet also, no? So you can collect their information or their resume through email. Yan. So make it sure. Yung iba din kasi yung nagsisend ng email, resume, hindi comprehensive yung emails nila, di ba? I mean, resume nila. So minsan, yan, minsan kulang yung details or information, minsan hindi appealing, no? But always, no, always take a look into the every detail of those resume. Kasi there are times na kahit na pangit tignan yung resume nila, sila yung most qualified. Ayan. Remember that. Sila yung most qualified. Meron namang iba, sobrang ganda, creative na resume nila, na parang naging poster making na yung resume, pero wala naman silang na hit na KPI doon sa hinahanap natin na mga values and requirements. So always, no, give a fair treatment to the applicant's resume. No? Kahit nagaano ka pangit tignan, always read the details kasi baka sila mismo yung hinahanap ninyo. All right? All right. So that's the 5 hiring strategies that we have. Okay? Let's take a look at it again. Okay, 5 hiring strategies during crisis. First one is embrace remote recruiting. Ayan, empower your company to do work from home. Put effort into the candidate experience. Ayan, create an impression. Okay, next is number 3. Don't forget about retention. Okay, to minimize the cost or expenses that you have for hiring, always strengthen your retention policy. Number 4, focus on soft skills. Okay. And number 5, we have tailor your approach. All right. So now we have a closing question here. All right. Yan. Is it right to ask the interviewer about the salary? Is it right to ask the interviewer about the salary? This is debatable, no? Debatable question na meron kami when we are having conference about from the for the HR practitioners. There are some HR practitioners who agree na it's a right thing to discuss the salary during the interview. But there are also a lot of HR professionals who are saying that it's a must, no? But for me, no, it is right. It is just fairly right to ask about the salary during the interview. Okay? Kahit balik-tarin mo man yung ano niyan, yung sitwasyon, nag-apply yung aplikante because kailangan niya ng pera. Ayan, wag na tayong maging jologs. Kailangan ng pera ng aplikante and wag na tayong ma-offend, 'di ba? Ano po 'yun, Ma'am Alma?
Practical.
Yeah, maging practical tayo. Wag tayong maging parang touch me not na pag tinanong yan, maano tayo, parang madi-discourage tayo to hire the person kasi isipin natin na ay mukhang pera, yung sweldo lang yung habol niya. Well, it's true, no? Kahit na ako, mag-a-apply ako ng trabaho, ay itatanong ko talaga yung sweldo. Kasi that's what I'm after, no? I will be performing very well according to the salary that I'll be getting. And that's what I came for this company, di ba? Ayan, galit na ako, ha? Ayan. But it's true, no? Be practical lang din. So, yes, it's right. Sabi ni Ma'am Mika, ni Ma'am Alma, yes, we asked them for their asking rate even if we posted our rate offer. Ayan. So, yes, be open also to, to negotiate the salary with the applicant, no? Yan. Ask them about their rate, no? Then si Sir Dennis sabi niya, yes, it's right. Sabi ni Mr. Chase, question po, since we are in pandemic, I've been encountering applicants who share that they suffer from mental health issues. including me. When hiring managers hear this, may tendency sila to reject an applicant kahit na competent because of fear that those applicants might leave the company agad. Any tips on how to balance this kinds of situation for us not to look as if discriminatory tayo? This is a very interesting question, no? And it's very timely, especially during pandemic. It's undeniable that a lot of people has actually experienced mental issues. No? Mental issues is because i-understand din naman natin bakit nagkaroon sila ng mental issue. Is it because they lost the job because of pandemic? Is it because um, they don't know how to cope up with the changes that the pandemic has brought them? Is it because they fear the effect of the pandemic on their body or the virus on their body? So we try to understand it. Natanungin natin kung why they had a mental issue. And then, yun nga yung mahirap, no? How do we sound not discriminatory when it comes to this one? Kasi, um, whatever we do, no? Kasi kapag ano man yung sabihin natin, it will still sound like we are discriminating them because of mental health issue. But what we can do is to try to, there are ano naman din, 'di ba? Psychological exams that we can take, no? It's not 100% reliable gaya nga nasabi ng ibang mga psychologists, but we can take it and take into account its credibility, 70% of its credibility. Now, if they pass that threshold, no, that we set for them, then let's try to consider hiring them, and let's make them understand, make them feel that they are being valued, no, and ask them what made them feel anxious or what made them have this mental health issue. Kasi if the reason is only because nagkaroon sila ng mental health issue during pandemic is because nawalan sila ng trabaho, then definitely I would hire that person, no? Kasi they're in need of the job, and when the person is in need of a particular thing, they will excel and they will do their best, no? Kagaya ng mga let's say person with disabilities, 'di ba? Person with disabilities, if you are going to hire them, they will really excel and do their best for their job because they need it, no? They need it. When a person needs it, they will work for it, no? And if that's the reason why nagkaroon sila ng mental health, dahil natanggal sila sa trabaho, then hire them, no? Help them overcome their mental health issue. Yan. One thing is for sure, if you're able to hire them, no? Even if they have mental health issue, is you are helping them overcome their health issue. Ayan. You're in fact healing them as a person. Ayan. But other reasons na nagkaroon sila ng mental health issue, probably because, traumatic experiences or mga other causes. It's up to us to gauge it, no? Or it's up to the reason, no? Hindi naman din natin kailangan na i-hire din sila kaagad. We have to investigate talaga. Yan. Sabi ni Ma'am Jasmine, maraming work dito sa bansa natin pero di lahat alam yung ganitong hiring process. Exactly, because we are so used with the classical way, no, na mga old way of recruitment or hiring process. Sabi ni Sir Ansel, yes ma'am, lack po kasi sila sa trainings. Ayan. All right. Next, we have here, parang wala na question. Ayan, wala na talaga. Ayan. So, do you have any question? Yan, may question po ba tayo? And I really appreciate, by the way, that all of you actually participated very well. I appreciate that you really, expressing your thoughts about the topic. It's very essential. It's a very essential topic, no? Kaya gustong-gusto kong i-hold yung mga HR topics dito sa Stellar. It's because it's it's a very nice topic to discuss with fellow professionals. Ayan. So we have a question here. Do you offer training or seminars po how to ace scholastic adult psych exams, IPAT exams, or such? Naku, wala pa po kaming ganyan, Ma'am Jasmine. So sorry about that. And based on our course outline mapping, wala po siya, hindi po siya nakasali sa aming plans. Baka man daw training din po to prepare for employment or any online exams related to employment. Ayan. Naku, wala pa po kaming ganyan po, ma'am. But there are maybe online na sources that we can have, no? Or we can try to visit. Ayan. So wala pa po kami niyan, Ma'am Jasmine. I'm so sorry about that. Ayan. Thank you so much for raising that, no? We were also going to have that one kasi wala pa pong nagsabi sa amin about that. But definitely that we will take that as a suggestion. Ayan. Any more question? Ayan. Ayan, sir, paano po maging CHRA? Certified Human Resource Associate. Ayan, you can take that with HREP. Ayan, let me type the word HREP. It's a Human Resource Educators Association of the Philippines. Member ka ba dyan, Sir Ansel? Parang member si Sir Ansel.
Hindi sir, na ano ko rin siya, na site ko siya.
Okay.
Pero may plan ko mag-take diyan.
Yeah, it's only 1,500. And okay, let me show this. This is the certification for the CHRA. If you wanted to be a CHRA, ayan, nakikita niyo po ba? It's 1,500 with ayan, certification. Ayan, ang ganda niyan. Ayan, sobrang ganda. It's something that you will really treasure. Nawala yung microphone. Ayan. Am I still audible? Hello? Ayan. So, it's a very comprehensive exam. Madali lang naman yung exam, no? Nahirapan lang ako dun sa mga benefits ng mga babae. Yan, kasi hindi ko alam na ano yung mga benefits ng mga babae. Alright. So, yan, if you wanted to take CHRA, then definitely you can go there sa ano. Yes po.
Hello po. Sir, regarding po sa CHRA, may review po ba yan? May review program silang ino-offer?
What do you mean? Before the assessment or examination?
Yeah.
Yes. Actually, they will be providing you a lot of reviewers. No? Labor law, labor code of the Philippines, mga statutory benefits. Okay? So,
Okay. So, once na nag-register po kayo, bibigyan kayo ng mga reviewer.
yes,
Tama
sir.
po?
Exactly.
Okay.
So, mas maganda na magbayad ka ng early before the examination schedule kasi mas marami kang time to review it. Ako kasi hindi ako nakapag-review nun.
And online na po yan, sir?
Yes po,
Online
online
exam?
lang po. You just need to
Okay.
prepare two devices for examination and then your cell phone kasi gagamitin nila to see you while taking
Okay.
an examination.
Okay po. Thank you, sir.
So yun, if you wanted to be a CHRA, then yan, good luck sa inyo. Alright, so may mga question pa po ba? Wala na? I hope no, yung sa mga magte-take ng CHRA, you will be able to ace it. Maging top kayo, ayan. It's something you will really be proud of. Ayan, kung wala ng question, please turn on your camera. We only have 3 minutes so that we can take our photo op. Ayan. Let's take our photo op para may padala tayo sa PIDEA. Mga pictures natin. Ayan. Papadala kasi namin to dun sa sa intelligence namin. Ayan. So let's take a picture. Wala pa sila Ma'am Lawrence, Sir Dennis, Ma'am Kayla. Ayan. All right. I guess Yes, majority of us are ready. Let's take a picture at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, smile. All right, awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me on this afternoon. And I hope we'll be able to see you again on the next trainings that we will be having on the Stellar Training Consultancy Services. So you can visit our Facebook page for more trainings. And by the way, your certificate and your training resources, we'll try to send it to you right after this session. Okay? Training certificates, even the recording, we'll be sending it to you right after the session. Ayan. So wala na po ba tayong question? I hope you will were able to appreciate our session for this afternoon. Ayan. So thank you so much, everyone. And yung photo up natin, yung picture natin, pwede ninyo makita within the day doon sa Facebook page natin para may ma-share kayo. Ayan. Thank you so much, everyone. Oh, may question pa si Ma'am Kayla. Ayan. Yes po, Ma'am Kayla. We'll be sending it to you within the day. Ayan. Thank you so much din po, everyone. Ayan. Okay, we're all good. Thank you so much, everyone. And you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye po. Bye.